Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? It's a beautiful evening, a very warm good evening to one and all of you. Well, after a gap of 2 years, KMA is back, and indeed back in a grand way at Grand Hyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kerala Management Association presents before you the largest professional managers meet in India, the 40th Kerala Management Association Annual National Management Convention, and this year with the theme, the next generation of communications and its impact in our organizations. Well, despite the encircling gloom that we see in the world today, there is a ray of hope. Yes, the next generation communications is here, and it's here to revolutionize the way we live. But only if we can cope up to the challenges and the impact on our organizations, we will survive. Well, on that note, let me invite Ms. Rochelle Roy, a member of our student KMA chapter, to lead us through the invocation. May I request all of you to kindly rise? Over to you, Rochelle. Thank you, Rochelle. Ladies and gentlemen, you may kindly be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, please make way.
The Kerala Management Association was registered under the Travancore Kochi Literary, Scientific and Charitable Societies Registration Act in 1957. The association was soon affiliated to All India Management Association, AIMA, New Delhi, and started functioning as its local resource center. Objectives were well-crafted right from the beginning. It was a journey with a purpose to build a strong business community through healthy interaction between corporate leaders and management gurus. This has helped many companies to surge ahead with sound professional management practices. A growing economy often ushers in new trends in the market. Regular seminars and interactive workshops are conducted by KMA to keep up with the ever-changing market requirements. A 2-day annual management convention is conducted during the first quarter of every year, which is attended by over 1,000 delegates from all across Kerala. Eminent speakers of national and international repute lead this prestigious event. KMA has many such successful initiatives. Evening lectures by eminent people. CEO Conclave. Management Students Forum. Young Managers Forum. Sector-specific seminars. Women Managers Forum are some of them. KMA is active in the social media networking sites. It also has a comprehensive website, www.kma.org.in. KMA is managed by a managing committee comprising of prominent industry and corporate heads and functions at its own premises at Panambali Nagar, Cochin. The long-cherished dream of renovating the KMA building at Panambali Nagar became a reality on 18th August 2022. The new KMA house has one big conference hall, 3 small meeting halls, and 1 boardroom. The main hall is named Lulu Hall. The other halls are Cochin Shipyard Hall, Geojit Hall, and Muthoot FinCorp Hall. Corporate companies are awarded KMA Excellence Awards in 5 different categories, which promote healthy competition for excellence among members. Membership. A membership in KMA offers opportunities to interact with the top management leaders in Kerala to share knowledge and skills, thereby commanding respect and credibility to your organization. Corporate membership is open to business houses, government enterprises, educational institutions, etc. Any individual who meets the norms set by KMA can enroll as life members on payment of the fees as a lump sum. Senior citizens only have to pay half the fee. For more details, please contact Executive Director, Kerala Management Association.
And yet again, Kerala Management Association is scripting history today. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, please make way for our luminary dignitaries on stage. May I request our Chief Guest, Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, Mr. Adib Ahmed, Managing Director, Lulu Financial Holdings, Mr. Ramdas Narayanan, motivational speaker, accompanied with our Madam President, Nirmala Lily, the Convention Chair, A. Balakrishnan, and our Honorary Secretary, Algiers Khalid, to join on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause as they are escorted on stage. Thank you. ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ അതിമനോഹരമായ സായാഹ്നത്തിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഓരോരുത്തരെയും പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്മുടെ വിശിഷ്ട അതിഥികളെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുവാനായിട്ട് we have with us the Executive Director of Geojit Financial Services Limited, a Senior Vice President of the Kerala Management Association, and more importantly, the Convention Chair of this event, Mr. A. Balakrishnan. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome the Convention Chair for the welcome address.
Respected Chief Guest of the day, Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, Mr. Abid Ahmed, the Managing Director, Lulu Financial Holdings. I know he is also our Managing Committee member of KMA, Dr. Ramdas Narayan, our President, Honorary Secretary, Managing Committee members, past presidents, delegates, and dignitaries from government and industries. Very good evening to you. Today we assemble after 2 years of break. This is 40th anniversary of Annual National Management Convention of KMA. So before beginning my duty, let me salute all past presidents and the visionaries who started this 40 years ago, probably 45 years ago, if a couple of years they couldn't run this. Annual National Management Convention, normally we conduct with the most relevant theme which is required to learn and also understand by managers, professionals, other even students, consultants, etc. This is something we started decades back. That is something very great. So salute to all past presidents. And this year, again, we are assembling with a new theme, which is already displayed over here, which is next generation of communication. We know that the cellular network, connected devices, all those things actually created ripples in our life, day-to-day life, the way in which we do business, the way in which we run the organization, how we conduct, how we manage media, everything has changed in the past 2 decades. Now, it has a continuation of that. Now, in our country, 5G is getting rolled out. Low Earth orbit satellite has been launched as a part of OneWeb. What is going to happen is there will be low latency, high throughput bandwidth available in every nook and corner of the country. So what will happen to us? This will create another revolution. By 2026, every inch, even a centimeter not available without connectivity, without connected devices. Along with that, much more powerful devices connecting all over the world and all the people, government, community, business, that will give a wonderful scenario for business. We are going to discuss this extensively with the 3 specific sectors what is going to happen. One is manufacturing, second is financial services and healthcare tomorrow. So I am not elaborating, I am not going to elaborate on that. That tomorrow we will discuss. So my primary duty is welcoming our guest. So today we have Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala, with us. He is going to inaugurate our 40th Annual National Management Convention. Fortunately, when we initially tried ISRO chairman, unfortunately, he couldn't come over here. He sent us a message. But our chief guest started his career as an engineer, electronics and communication engineer, and started in Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. And then subsequently he joined in IAS 1987. And during the last 3.5 decades, held several levels of administrative and managerial posts, both at the level of policy making and implementation. In the literary world, he is also known as Joy Varel. He is a novelist and a poet. If I am not wrong, he has written 2 or 3 novels and 9 volumes of poems, already published by eminent publishing house in Kerala, Madhubhumi Books, DC Books, etc. So multiple talents accumulated in one single person. He is an engineer, he is an IAS administrator, and also a poet. So we have a versatile personality to inaugurate this function. Thank you, sir, for coming over there, and we welcome you for this. In order to honor our chief guest, let me welcome Treasurer Mr. Johnson to stage. Thank you, Johnson. We have Mr. Abid Ahmed, Managing Director, Lulu Financial Holdings. I don't think I need to introduce Mr. Abid Ahmed to this audience. And he is actually a well-wisher and managing committee member of Kerala Management Association. Last year, when we renovated our KMA house, with his support only we could do that. So before welcoming, let me thank you, sir, for all your support and guidance you have given. Again, Mr. Adib Ahmad is a multifaceted entrepreneur, spearheading several companies in financial services, retail, F&B and hospitality. He is an MBA in International Management from prestigious Royal Holloway University of London. Adib started his entrepreneurial journey with the founding of Lulu Holdings in 2009. Since then, he has teamed the company into becoming a global financial services conglomerate, operating over 250 branches, as well as various other digital investments in 11 countries across Middle East, Indian subcontinent, and Asia-Pacific regions. He is also holding several important positions, such as board member of South Asia Regional Strategy Group, World Economic Forum, Vice Chairman, Foreign Exchange and Remittance Group, UAE, Global Advisory Board member, World Tourism Forum. Again, Adib is also known for his charity work. He has done tremendous amount of work for the well-being of the society. Adib has received several recognitions and awards for his remarkable achievements in business and social commitments. Latest one is Asian Business Leadership Forum Award for Outstanding Business Achievement in 2022. Welcome you, sir, for this function. In order to greet him, let me invite Mr. Dilip Narayan, our Joint Secretary, to the stage. Thank you, Dilip. Today we have another important guest, a thought leader and international speaker, Dr. Ramdas Narayan. Dr. Ramdas Narayan is a thought leader and a highly reputed international lawyer and arbitrator with a global client base. He has been actively involved at regional, national, and international levels, advising governments, corporates, NGOs, and head of state. Trained as a lawyer, he has more than 35 years background in commercial law, dispute resolution, leadership, business development, strategic planning, and university teaching, which provides his client with unique advantages. He is very active in the NGO sector, advising trust and charities on policy, funding, and FCRA governance. He is again a science graduate, law graduate, and in English literature, post-graduation, linguistics management. If I read his entire qualification, I think it will take another 10-15 minutes more. Thank you, sir, for coming over here. In order to greet him, let me welcome Mr. Bibu Punuran on the stage. In fact, it is customary to welcome President first, but I took liberty to all the guests first. Thank you very much, President, for chairing this function, and formally welcome you for this. And let me also tell you, in the history of 65 years, this is the second president. That means it is a male-dominated area, like in all other area. This is the second president. And also, after 3 decades, a lady became president. So thank you for KMA members for opting a lady president. Thank you, madam. And Mr. Algiers Khalid is our honorary secretary. Welcome you, sir, for this function. And we have a galaxy of past presidents. If I name it, I have to name around 20 names. So each one of you, I am welcoming you. Managing committee members and my colleagues in the management convention committee, KMA members, all delegates, all of you welcoming for this 2 days program. I am sure there will be large amount of takeaways from this program. Before winding up, let me tell you that I have mentioned that we invited ISRO chairman. ISRO chairman couldn't come over here, but he had given a greeting message. So I would like to read it out. I request you to display on the screen. ISRO Chairman Sri S. Somanath, Chairman ISRO and Secretary Department of Space, dear friends and leadership of KMA, entire management professionals, practitioners, and executives in Kerala and this part of the country look forward to flagship event of KMA, the annual management convention. I would love to be the part of the event, but for my other official engagements, I also remember my participation in earlier KMA conventions. I am sure that professional engagements, sharing of lessons learned, future outlook in the business and economy by the eminent speakers and participating CEOs and CFOs and other leadership from government and business will be a good learning process for all the participants, especially the budding managers. Let me wish a very successful convention and fruitful result of our sectoral panel discussion. All the best. Thank you. Regards, Somanath, Chairman ISR. Let me also welcome some dignitaries over here. We have Mr. Mukundaraj. He is actually making the tomorrow's opening remark. We also have Mr. Bharat Panjal. We also have several speakers of tomorrow. Let me welcome all of you for this inaugural session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear it up for the convention chair? A big round of applause, please. Well, indeed, he is the backbone of this whole program. We move on. A leader par excellence, the CEO of Infinity Hospitality Services. As mentioned earlier, the only second lady to reach this level as the president of our prestigious Kerala Management Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our Madam President, Ms. Nirmala Lilly, for her presidential address.
Chief guest of the day, Dr. V.P. Joy IAS, Chief Secretary of Kerala. Keynote speaker, Dr. Ramdas Narayanan, thought leader and lawyer. Our special guest, Mr. Adib Ahmed, Managing Director, Lulu Financial Group. Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Senior Vice President, Kerala Management Association. Mr. Algiers Khalid, Honorary Secretary. Past Presidents, KMA Managing Committee members, KMA members, our student members, all are there. Invited guests, Secretariat members, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is delighted to see all of you and a hearty welcome in India's largest professional management meet 2023. It is wonderful to see so many of our past presidents here today. Thank you. I also see tomorrow's speakers. Thank you so much for joining us in this inaugural function. A very special thanks to our chief guests, keynote speakers, moderators, panelists, and all other speakers for accepting our invitation and joining us for this convention. We truly appreciate our convention chair, Mr. A. Balakrishnan. Your effort, dedication, and determination in organizing convention at the Grand Hyatt with brilliant speakers and domain experts. Thank you, Mr. Balakrishnan, and your team for making this conference a reality. I would like to spend a few minutes sharing some of the strategies that have helped me enormously in my journey as a professional. There are 4 fundamental principles in achieving success. They are 4 C's: curiosity, creativity, collaboration, and communication. The KMA convention is a flagship event which everybody looks forward to year after year. I still remember the first ever convention I have attended at Le Méridien, maybe of 18 years ago. I was spellbound, and curiosity about KMA got the better of me. Yes, the first C is curiosity. Curiosity is a core competency that is essential for success. It is a way of thinking that opens up possibilities. Curiosity unlocks imagination and allows you to explore unchanged solutions. The second C is creativity. I always wonder at the creativity required to hold a KMA convention like this successfully. The theme, the speakers, the venue, the backdrop. I admired the creativity of every conference chair and his team. I have often asked myself if I would be able to execute something like this. Creativity is the power to connect seemingly unconnected. When leaders are creative, they promote creativity throughout the organization. This allows employees to view and solve problems more openly with innovation. This is in turn increase productivity and adaptability and hence growth. The third C is collaboration. This KMA convention is a perfect example of collaboration. The various stakeholders, partners, corporates, KMA, and so many others collaborated seamlessly. It is the only way to thrive in the fast-changing global village that we live in today. The fourth C is communication. The human connection, which is the key to personal and professional success, and the theme of our 40th Annual National Management Convention. Communication and information technology play a great role in an organization and in our individual lives. Fifth generation, 5G, is the latest iteration of cellular technology engineered to greatly increase the speed and responsiveness of wireless networks. The next generation of communication and its impact on organizations is our theme, and we will have many experts speak to us on this subject. I once again thank each and every one of you, and I wish you an enriching, engaging, and educative KMA Convention 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our President, Ms. Nirmala Lilly. Let's always stay curious, put on our creativity caps, and look in for collaborations and improve on our communications. Thank you, ma'am, for those pearls of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, next we move into the lighting of the lamp as we are going to begin the 40th KMA National Convention. I request the dignitaries on stage to kindly move towards the lamp. Light signifies hope and a new beginning. Today, let's begin the 40th KMA National Management Convention with the lighting of the lamp. I also request the Executive Committee members to also join on stage. Vice President Bibu Punuran, Joint Secretary Mr. Dilip Narayanan, and Honorary Treasurer Johnson Matthew. To inaugurate the 40th KMA National Convention, we have our chief guest, Dr. VP Joy, IAS. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, dignitaries on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request our chief guest, Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, for his inaugural address.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Ms. L. Nirmala, President KMA, Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Senior Vice President, Mr. Adib Ahmad, Dr. Ramdas Narayanan, Mr. Algiers Khalid, and all other participants in this convention. I am extremely happy to be present on this occasion of the convention which is being organized by KMA today. KMA is a body which is taking forward the managerial movement in Kerala and always striving to improve the governance and management of our economic subsystem and all other related activities in the state. I wish that in the new year, all of you will have better times compared to the past COVID-affected times. And I wish you all a very happy new year. Now, it was mentioned by the President earlier, he explained the 4 C's for success. Of course, we all expect success, we work for success. Success is a mantra which is driving each one of us. But one very important aspect of success, to my mind, is to know where to go. It is a direction that is most important in achieving success. Sometimes when I go to schools, I meet children and I ask them, can you distinguish between vector and scalar? And most students know this. They will say that vector is something with magnitude and direction. Scalar is something with magnitude only. Then next question is asked, what is more important, direction or magnitude? Most of the children will say it is direction, but some say it is magnitude. Then the question asked is, okay, all of you come for a convention. And some came by car, some came by vehicle, some came by flight, different speeds. But if all had the same direction, those with the same direction will reach here, sometimes maybe late. But if somebody started at a very high speed and went in the opposite direction, that person will never reach the destination. This shows that unless somebody has a direction, he will never achieve success. Direction is more important than magnitude, it is more important than speed. That is something that is why something which makes vector special as compared to scalar. So we need to know where we are going to achieve success. And we need to define success. Many a time success is pursued without a definition. And it is like a directionless ship moving forward. So what is the definition of success? The best definition which I heard, of course there can be different definitions. The best definition which I heard came from none other than Albert Einstein, who said that success is to be defined not in terms of accumulations, but in terms of contributions. That is because perhaps the ultimate success of a particular person on a particular occasion or in the entire life is whether by his presence on this planet, whether the planet has improved or not. If at the end of the day, some poet wrote, not how did he die, but how did he live, not what did he gain, but what did he give. These are the units to measure the worth of a man as a man, regardless of birth. Perhaps with this idea that Einstein mentioned once, that try not to be a man of success, but try to be a man of value. We need to define what is value. That is a different aspect. But ultimately, whichever way success is defined, unless somebody defines it and takes it forward with a direction, it is very unlikely that that person will achieve success. So this direction is very important in individual life, in the life of entities, in the life of organizations, in the life of government, in the life of the world at large. So fixing direction should be the prerogative, the realm of the top management, the leaders, the so-called leaders. We always distinguish between vision and mission. Vision is something which gives direction, mission is the magnitude. Vision can be compared to direction, mission is the magnitude. The great management guru Stephen Covey said that management is climbing the ladder of efficiency in climbing the ladder of success, But leadership is knowing whether the ladder is leaning against the right wall. Now, leadership is direction and management is magnitude. Management is magnitude and leadership is direction. Leadership is vision, management is mission. So this is a kind of distinction. Again, there is a lot of such dualities in human life. We can call intelligence as magnitude, wisdom as direction. Somebody said, now we are dealing with the communication technology. I studied electronics and communication almost nearly 40 years ago, I think. So at that point of time, transistor, integrated circuits, microchips, etc. were very important. Today, the technology has advanced very fast, and technology is moving very fast. And today we are dealing with 5G, fifth generation, where the bandwidths are much higher in the millimeter range or in the gigahertz range, unlike the 4G technologies, where we are trying to get a great low latency, greater speed, greater bandwidth, and more data. Now, these kind of technologies, when new technologies come, people are all apprehensive whether they are disruptive, what kind of direction they will take in the human life, what kind of direction they should take. Technology is definitely good. In fact, technology is neither good or bad. That is a generally accepted principle about technology. It is a direction in which the technology is applied. That is what makes it good or bad. Now, when 5G comes, people are apprehensive. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad also. Every technology has been good and bad. How to use it is the most important thing. Isaac Asimov once said that the saddest aspect of science today is that science acquires knowledge faster than society acquires wisdom. So science acquires knowledge, but if it is faster than what society is acquiring wisdom, it is applicable even for a human being. A human being acquiring knowledge faster than he acquiring wisdom is his doom. It is not good for him. So because knowledge is magnitude, wisdom is direction. So directionless trip we don't want, neither for individuals, nor for our organizations, nor for the state. So when these kind of new technologies come, in fact, we should be worrying very much we should be thinking very much how best we can use these technologies and put them in the right direction. In fact, we should be equally thinking how some undesirable elements are going to misuse this technology and going to negatively impact on society. That should be the concern of people like us who are dealing with the government, who are dealing with the society, because we are concerned what kind of impact every technology will make on society. But at the same time, it's a good thing that data comes in greater quantity, greater speed, and we can reach this data. If it is rightly put to use, definitely it will improve society. That potential is there, that revolutionary potential is there for technology. We must be able to make use of that technology in that sense. And when we think of more and more of data, more and more of everything is generally assumed to be good. But it is only generally assumed to be good. It can be good or bad. Now, there is this principle called the marginal utility, law of diminishing marginal utility. If you take more and more of something, finally a point will come where its utility will be less and less, and finally you don't want it more. So even for data, I have a feeling that we need to reach, or we need to identify the point at which this marginal utility is nearly becoming zero, or it is becoming low and low. Now, more data is good in a sense if it can be properly used for education, properly used for various advantages like health, where the fast transfer of information, remote kind of telemedicine, remote kind of treatments. So many opportunities are there. So-called Internet of Things, better management, and and improving the governance. For all those things, we can use faster communication. Today in Kerala, we are happy that we are reaching the 100% digital governance with the existing, technological advantages we are taking. So Kerala government is in the process of removing all the paper files and removing all paper communications from government, which we hope to achieve in 1 or 2 months, where all the files will be on electronic and all communication will be digital. We are trying to achieve that situation for government. And I'm sure that businesses also will be able to make their things quickly and with better quality, take things faster to their consumer and serve the society better. So ultimately, I think every business, like when we discuss that success and direction, every business has to think of society also and how that business can benefit society, how the tomorrow's society can become better with our business, with our contribution. And this is the same true of technology. Every technology we must think and apply in that direction. So it is very important to see that the applications of the new technology have to be devised in such a manner that improves some aspect of social life. The life becomes better. Because while we are very proud of technologies, we are very happy with the new technologies, we have seen how COVID has impacted and devastated the world. And still it is devastating the countries with the most advanced technologies at hand. Many of the countries with the best of technologies are striving in a very, very difficult manner with COVID. And after COVID has come, one thing which has gone to the mind of the humanity is that our survival is to be together. There is this mantra or the saying in this Rigveda, which says that born on the same planet, covered by the same skies, breathing the same air, gazing at the same stars, we must learn to happily progress together or miserably perish together. For man can live individually, but can survive only collectively. Man can live individually. Businesses can live individually, but their survival is only collectively. So unless this aspect of collective survival of human mind on this planet is taken into account, is understood by everybody, in this century at least, the time has come where the collective survival is at peril for human society. With whatever technology, whatever advancement people have, the collective survival will be there only with a common vision for leadership and common vision for direction. I said that earlier that the vision, forming the vision is the job of the leader. Forming the vision for the society is the job of the leaders of the society. Leadership, there are so many definitions. The Napoleon once told that a leader is a dealer in hope. I don't know whether it is a correct definition. But the best definition for leadership, I heard, it came from Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is a Chinese philosopher who wrote a book on Taoism, which I had an occasion to translate to Malayalam as poetry. And in that book, he says that there are 4 types of leaders. There are 4 types of leaders. The best of the leader is unknown. Now, why he is unknown? So when the best of the leader is there somewhere, everything is done perfectly well. Everything happens perfectly well. And the job is done with a great enthusiasm. And at the end of the day, all the people will say, we have done it. That is the nature of the best of the leader. And the second best leader is loved and respected. Because there also the job is done very well. Things happen perfectly well. And when the task is completed, people will say that we have done it under the leadership of so-and-so. And the third best is feared. So their job is done not that well, but at the end of the job, people say that the leader has led us to do the job. And the last and the worst category of leader is hated. There, nothing is done properly. At the end of the day, people will say that the leader has done it. So these are 4 classifications of leaders in society. And I hope that the objective of the Management Association must be to make great leaders in their respective areas. And leader doesn't mean that he has to be a leader in an organization, leader in a society, leader of a country, leader of the world. He has to be a leader of his own life. A life where success is properly defined. He doesn't lead a life without defining, without thinking. So thought comes first, and then action comes next. And then learning and relearning happen so that he moves in the right direction. And there is that kind of leaders are essential in today's society to make a new world and a better world and a new society. I hope that the Kerala Management Association will do its part in achieving this vision for the state of Kerala and contribute its might to create a better society here. With these words, I inaugurate this National Management Convention of KMA. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your words of wisdom is truly going to drive us further. Ladies and gentlemen, as a token of our love and appreciation, we would like to present a memento to our chief guest, Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS. And to do the honors, we have one of our past president, Mr. Jose P. Philip. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again hear it up for Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS. Truly, we are indeed proud to have such a luminary in public administration as the Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS. Thank you, sir. Next, for felicitation, we have a UAE-based businessman of Indian origin. He's the founder of Lulu International Exchange, is the MD of Lulu Financial Group, Tables, and 2014 Holidays. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request Mr. Adib Ahmed, the MD of Lulu Financial Holdings, for a felicitation. A round of applause, please, as we welcome him for a felicitation. Thank you.
A very good evening to each and every one of you. In the name of Almighty, the most merciful, the most benevolent. Dr. V.P. Joy, sir, Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala. Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Convention Chair, KMA. Madam President, Ms. Nirmala. Mr. Arigast Khalid, Honorary Secretary, KMA. My fellow colleagues from the Management Committee of the KMA, members of KMA, past presidents, distinguished guests, once again, a very good evening to each and every one of you. It gives me immense pleasure to see all of you at such large numbers, especially because this is also a sign of us coming out from a very tough 2 years of COVID hindrance in all of our lives. And what better way to come out than to have this much awaited or a must be part of calendar for all of us to be participating at the National Management Convention of the KMA. And this year, it becomes even more important because of the relevance of the topic, which is the next generation of communication and its impact in all of our businesses. I say this is relevant because it comes on a background of the growing phase and the changing phase of India and where India is moving towards. I think it's a wonderful time for each and every one of us to be part of this growth story. In one way or another, each of us here today is working towards a better and a more data-driven future. Although emerging technologies, including communications, have led us into newer possibilities, they also raise the question of how far and how fast we can go with the scope of existing regulations. And I think so, this is where we have seen a lot of changes happening in this last decade. Regulations are now being changed to keep up with the pace of growth. Ours as an economy is a service-based economy, and it's fast moving towards a manufacturing economy as well. And I think so, this gives enormous amount of data collection points And I think so the use of these shared data is what is going to define India as a superpower in the coming times. It is also necessary, while it is important for us to have these shared data in time like these, it's also important that we keep a necessary balance of innovation and growth to companies in a very secured and a very trustful manner. And this I say because it is for the safety of each of us, being the customer, that we have our rights to be individually protected from the misuse of majority of data that is being collected by multiple companies. And I'd like to share an example with all of you people here. Our company, the Lulu Financial Holdings, we are primarily into the financial space and much into the cross-border remittance space as well. As you all know, the financial service sector has immensely benefited from technology over the last decades, especially in India with the formulation of UPI, which has now become an envy to the world on how well and how effectively India has bought and implemented the UPI payment technology in India. And this has become one of the most cost-effective and most used form of payment in today, and this has become a matter of great envy to even more developed and more established countries worldwide. Now, this was not just used as a payment methodology. The multiple layers that was built on top of UPI has helped many and immensely fintech companies who has looked forward for such a platform to partner with wide range of companies ranging from the legacy financial services, which is the banks and other technology institutions that helps to better customer experiences, acquisitions, and of course, understanding each of the customers as such. Otherwise, this I'm sure has given different parties to accept a shared responsibility and accountability for the common use of all its customers. A decade or 2 decades ago, there was not clear understanding on these regulations that needs to be. But I think so with these regulations coming out, we have kept a very open-minded to innovation and integration, which I'm sure is going to be the future. And this is where the bedrock would be built upon, in which much more innovation will be seen in India going forward. As a result of a mature ecosystem where emerging technologies achieve, I'm sure the speed of our growth is also going to be much more accelerated in the coming times. Now, drawing a parallel line, it isn't hard to see that India enters a new age of progress. The question about who owns the customer is always going to be cropping up, not just in the minds of the companies, but also in the minds of customers. As we navigate a competitive yet exciting period in business, I'm sure that the sessions planned for tomorrow will throw more light on the aspect of emerging technologies, and while also taking an important step towards our responsibility as entrepreneurs and managers to make sure that we use all these data in a very responsible manner. I think so it's events like these where such ground-shaking questions would be asked and answers would be asked for. I think so this is where KMA has always stood very strong in differentiating itself from other institutions here in India, and which is also saying that we're not just a conclave where ideas are just expressed. We are also an institution where we look for the concrete answers to these steps that could be implemented in its members and also for the progress of the state as well. So I'm wishing the organization team and all the participants all the very best for a successful conduct of this event, and hope that we can bring in more such informative sessions to our members all throughout this year, making KMA one of the must-be part of institution, not just here in Kerala, but across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Adeep Ahmed. How far and how fast. Thank you, sir, for throwing light on the many technologies that is changing the way we live. On behalf of the Kerala Management Association, we would like to present you with a memento. And to do the honors, we have one of our past presidents, Mr. Kurian C. George. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Adib Ahmed for all the help that he's been rendering towards Kerala Management Association, and we truly appreciate it. And on behalf of us, Mr. Kurian C. George is presenting a memento. A round of applause for Mr. Adib Ahmed, the MD of Lulu Financial Holdings. Once again, let's hear it up for Mr. Adib Ahmed. Thank you, sir, for throwing light on those financial technologies that's changing the way we live. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have a keynote address. The topic here is social recession or social oblivion. We have with us a thought leader, a business strategist, and an international motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Ramdas Narayanan for his keynote address.
Good evening. The management students in the back, don't they teach you in the business schools how to greet back? Say good evening back. Thank you, that's it. And for the sound engineer, would you please lower down the speakers here? I feel very uncomfortable with the noise level, please. Thank you. Good evening once again. Good evening. That's it. I'm really overwhelmed. After what's called overwhelming events and speech from Dr. V.P. Joy, which was followed by Mr. Abid, I don't know what else to say than they have already said, because both the speeches were as good as a keynote speech. My topic is social recession. Well, do you like to smile? Do you use smileys? Okay, how many smileys do you use? Well, I like to use smileys when I communicate. What's the advantage of using smileys? It's easy to use. It is very succinct. It makes things faster and quicker for the communication. It helps us to express our thoughts very fast. But it's true. But what is the other side? These smileys would help me to masquerade my real emotions. They help me to cover up my real thoughts. I have a friend who just opened the Facebook and then go on clicking likes after likes, 100 likes in 1 minute to different posts. Totally thoughtless act of ritual. Well, this is a problem. There you have a real problem here. Well, any form of human expression of communication is beautiful. Whether it is voice-only language, scripted language, sign language, or technological language. But if you use just one form of language, it creates a hegemony. That would suppress different forms of expressions. Can we write a poem using smileys? Well, the smileys prevent us from the infinite number of linguistic possibilities to express our thoughts and emotions. These smileys came as part of a technological progress. Faster communication with a shorter content, more precise, more accurate. This will create a degradation of the quality of communication. When I send a smiley to my colleague, it doesn't know what exactly I thought. The same smileys to express different state of my emotions. I can express love different manner. When I say I love you to somebody, they have different connotations depending on my tones, depending on the day, depending on the occasions. But when I send a heart symbol of a smiley, it doesn't make any difference. So how do you think about the feeling of the person who receives such a smiley? Every day, somebody receives a smiley alone. He gets distanced from the person who is sending the smiley. Because this kind of communication becomes a mindless ritual. A communication as a ritual, as a mindless ritual. Again, this will be there is a degradation of the capacity of the individual who is sending smileys, and he will lose his capacity to express himself in myriad ways where the language, the combination of words would allow him to do that. That means there is a degradation from a scripted language into cryptic language. It has its impact in every organization. Instead of giving complete messages, if a manager gives cryptic messages to the employees, what does it feel? So where comes to the measure of a successful business is mainly the cost reduction, maximization of the profit, or the scalability of market activities. The new technologies or the new methods of communication help us to achieve this. This helped us to have a faster communication, to reach to a wider market. At the same time, it allows us to have a flexible working hours, remote working. You can have a home office. You don't need to see your employees. You don't need to see your boss. You don't need to see your colleagues. Gradually, the contact, physical contact between the individuals loses, diminishes. This will create a sense of alienation, loneliness, and a sense of loss and a feel of invisibility to the person. So we will find these people get lost. They felt being invisible. So the communication is actually collapses. Until now, all the technological progresses, all the communication advances facilitated better communication, better human community life. But this stage, the 3G or 4G or 5G, actually hampered community activities, that means the physical community activities. Humans are created to greet each other with a physical touch, to look into the eyes, having eye contact when you communicate. When you don't see another person whom you are communicating with at all, you just see him as a name or as a number. or as a code, that person loses the significance. He feels lost. He feels invisible. That's the next generation of communication. It has an impact on organizations. It may help to increase the productivity, but at the same time, you will find that over a period of time, the people who are working remote loses their edge, their behavior as individual going down. I've worked for a few companies where they renegotiated the labor contract, employees contract, saying that your principal place of work will be your home. But you are expected to stay within 2 hours journey from London. The company saved a lot in renting office spaces and creating other facilities to the employees. But over a period of time, the employees lost their drive to work. They went into desperation. They had psychological issues, and many of them left the company. And it's found that these kind of people, they lose the human bonding, they fail in the relationship, they have less intimate relationships, they have less friendship, and they fail in even their sexual life. This is what we call is a social recession. Social recession is not like economic recession. Economic recession can be observed and it can be managed. But the social recession is caused because of the loss of human bonding, loss of personal connection, loss of relationships, loss of community. This is widespread even before the COVID pandemic struck and when people started to work from home. This affects all spheres of social life, not only in the organizational structure, in the academic sector, in the non-governmental organizations, in the governments. This kind of lack of involvement in the activities of an organization creates huge problems. But why this social recession is not attracting public attention? The reason is, it is not sensational. Again, it is not attracting public attention is also a symptom of social recession. So what happens is, a new type of individual is being evolved who are economically less productive and become unproductive, socially useless, and politically powerless. It is not the problem of unemployed people that we are going to face and the organizations are going to face is a pool of university graduates who are unemployable because they don't have that social connection. They don't have that organizational belonging, or they are incapable of being so. And the biggest thing that we have found lost is the trust in the public sphere. We have transformed from a high trust society into a very low trust society. I'm just saying the things without giving you the numbers. And there are a lot of studies done about this, the trust among the public. The damage caused by social recession is very deep, or it is deeper than we thought. It is graver, and it is long-lasting. Then the question comes, okay, we have people with the problems. There is social recession. Can we overcome this social recession by replacing these people with artificial intelligence? The organization asked me to talk about that one. What do you think about artificial intelligence? How artificial it is? How intelligent it is? Is artificial intelligence artificial enough? Can we replace the people who suffer social recession with machines? Can we have robots or bots? Can you have software to replace? Yes, we have software which can be used from customer care to product designing. We can develop this. Artificial intelligence can be a replacement. Is it possible? Well, I'm sure that most of you must have watched the movie Her, the 2013 movie Her, where the Joaquin Phoenix plays the role of a software specialist who is working for a company who would create letters, personal letters for special occasions. If you want to write a love letter, or to write a birthday greetings to a mother or to a spouse, or to a girlfriend or a boyfriend, this company will write it for a price. Then he develops a software and he gives it a female voice and gives it a name Samantha. Then this software, this AI, adapts itself and gains intelligence. And that is the backdrop. But this depicts human-to-human communication and human-to-machine communication. And it says that this software can be developed with the ability to have a near-perfect verbal communication skills and a pseudo-emotional bonding to a convincing level. But it hints at human-to-human communication cannot be replaced by any kind of technological alternative. The reason is artificial intelligence is not neither artificial nor intelligent. Because artificial intelligence, it is built on a lot of natural resources, fuel, and human labor. It cannot be as intelligent in any human intelligence way. It needs a lot of human effort to program it, to condition it. And again, it's working on a different logic. Another thing is, the machine learning systems, they're based on the data which we provide. And this data is provided by the human beings. So it found that a software which is called Ask Delphi, you must have heard about it, Ask Delphi. It was developed by Allen Institute for AI. It was founded by Paul Allen, one of the co-founders of Microsoft. This software was developed to answer your questions on ethics. You ask an ethical question to this Delphi, it will give you an answer. But it turned out that these answers were really extremely racist, because that was the data it was given to the software. So that makes it very clear that artificial intelligence cannot be more intelligent than the people who creates it. It cannot be a replacement for intelligence. So we cannot, or no organization can replace human beings suffering social recession with AI. So it is high time that the organization should focus on addressing this issue of social recession. It is the elephant in the room. We must start talking about it. Well, ILO has started talking about a social dialogue in organizations, but this is different because you'll find that, as I said earlier, a kind of new individual is being evolved. This is going to have a big problem for the organizations. So earlier, when I gave the title to my speech, I said, social recession, a managerial crisis for the gods. So it was discussed by the organization. Then I said, okay, it may not be politically correct to say it's a managerial crisis for the gods. So let us change it. So they put it, okay, social recession or social oblivion. Why I said it's a managerial crisis for the gods? Well, gods in a very metaphorical sense. Because who is suffering from this social recession? The human being themselves, the Homo sapiens. We cannot do. We have heard of the YouTube. When you search the YouTube, it will come up with the searches of the programs which you started watching. Then you find that the YouTube can manipulate the truth. It happened during the last American president election. That means algorithmically curated programs, clippings, news items are generated. This is one of the systems worked for the American election, the Republican Party election machinery. So this kind of algorithmically curated programs or any artificial intelligence which cannot be a replacement for human beings, these are actually exacerbating the problems that organizations are going to face. So the social recession is a real thing. It is going to be there. It will be there even after we addressed the economic recession. So, with that, I conclude this speech. Actually, I prepared this for a longer session. I was actually struggling to reduce it into a 20 minutes speech. So it was a bit difficult for me to do that one. And I was not able to get you people involved during my speech. That is my style, asking questions, getting feedback, and then getting everybody involved into this. So instead of that one, I tried to become a professor, as if I am delivering a sermon from the mountain. So thank you very much. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramdas Narayanan. Thank you, sir, for enlightening our thoughts and minds on social recession and trust in the public sphere. On behalf of the Kerala Management Association, we would like to honor you with a memento. To do the honors, may I request our past president, Mr. N.R. Pai, to do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, I once again request all of you to put your hands together for Dr. Ramdas Narayanan, the international motivational speaker and business strategist who spoke to us about the social recession or social oblivion. Thank you. As we come to the end of today's proceedings, a reminder about tomorrow. Tomorrow we begin sharp at 9:15 a.m. Well, you're in for a treat because we have 4 keynote speeches followed by 3 sessions on manufacturing, healthcare and financial. A lot of things awaits you tomorrow, so be there at 9:15. Ladies and gentlemen, now to propose the vote of thanks, we have the Honorary Secretary of the Kerala Management Association, the founder, the honor of Puvat International, Mr. Algiers Khalid.
Galaxy of eminent ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening to everyone. What a fantastic start to the 40th edition of the annual convention of KMA. Even at the end of vote of thanks, we have full hall capacity to leave a hall with a record registration. And it's my duty to thank all those responsible for making this a reality. Let me at the outset thank the chief guest of the evening, the most respected Chief Secretary, Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, who accepted our invitation in spite of his very busy schedule and even adjusted his program for the day to be here with us and deliver his inspiring inaugural address. On behalf of the President and all the KMA members, let me thank you profusely and express our immense gratitude to you, sir. Managing Director of Lulu Financial Holdings and our own Managing Committee member, Mr. Adib Ahmed, has always been working closely with KMA in the last several years. Moreover, he is a strong well-wisher of KMA and always extended unstinted support in all our activities. We are grateful to him, and I thank him for offering his genuine felicitation for the good of not only this convention, but also the responsibility of managers for doing good and the progress of all. Our thought leader, Mr. Ramdas Narayanan, explained all about social recession resulting in decline in bonding and general well-being among members of any community due to reduced personal interactions, highlighting the importance of KMA's role and such annual gatherings of professionals to avoid social oblivion. Thank you very much, sir, for those great words of wisdom and as a takeaway for the management professionals, corporate leaders and management students. I must place on record the courage and conviction of our Senior Vice President and Chairman of 40th Annual Convention, one and only Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Executive Director of Geojit Financial Services, and ABK for all of us. He took the bold decision to move the annual convention to this grand venue to give it all the pomp and the grandeur of a national convention. Thank you, ABK, for immaculately planning it and executing it so well with his dedicated team of MC members. This year, so far, we had excellent quality programs. I'm sure all the members are enjoying every bit of it. All credit goes to the leadership of President Nirmala Lilly and her conscientious team of Executive Committee and Managing Committee members who executed a vision so diligently. Thank you, President Nirmala Lilly. Our illustrious past presidents sitting in the front row have always been a leading light of KMA to take this prestigious and India's best management association to strive even better year after year. Thank you all for your continuous support and guidance. I must especially thank all the Executive Committee and Managing Committee members for their open-handed support at every stage of planning and executing this event. It will be unfair if I don't mention a few names for their benevolence. Starting with past President Mr. Premchand, who willingly took up the chairmanship of the registration and did a fantastic job of record registrations. Past President Jibu Paul, who did all the groundwork, venue arrangements, coordination, besides valuable sponsorship. Vice President Mr. Bibu Punnuran for assistance in the speaker finalization, especially today's thought leader, Dr. Ramdas Narayan, and also panelists in the health vertical, besides large number of registrations from corporates. A big thanks from bottom of my heart to Treasurer Mr. Johnson Matthew, Joint Secretary Dilip Narayan, and MC members Mr. K. Harikumar, Mr. A.C.K. Nair, Past President Vivek Krishna Govind, Mr. Anil Joseph, and Mr. Anil Verma. I must also thank all specially invited well-wishers of KMA who have always supported KMA's cause to spearhead the professional management movement in the country. There are many individuals and organizations who need to be profusely thanked for volunteering to back us in our earnest effort to showcase the best for our members. I will be failing in my duty if I don't mention their valuable contribution for what you all have witnessed today and that you all will experience and imbibe tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Karthik Ramamurthy, Head of Business AWS South, Commander Jim Matthews, CEO of Star One IT, Mr. Ramesh KP of Fortinet, Mr. Ranjit RG, Associate Director of Geojet Financial Services, Mr. Bal Aditya Kasabada, Director of Services Middle East and India of Software One, and a very special thanks to KMA Past President Dr. Ravindranath P, who connected us to ISRO Chairman. Thank you all. Thanks to also our large-hearted sponsors without whom this would not have been possible. Thank you, Platinum Partner AWS Software One, Diamond Partners Unimoney and Asset Homes, Gold Partners Aptiv, VGuard Group, Star One Federal Bank, HDFC Life, and ICICI Prudential. Branding partners, Organic BPS, academic partners, SCMS and Rajagiri Institutions, visual media partner, Asianet News, and diagnostic partner, Medivision. Supporting partners, BPCL, Aditya Birla Mutual Fund, Tata Capital Mutual Fund, ICICI Mutual Fund, Cochin International Airport, Wonderla, Axel IT, SC Mentor, Netcore Cloud, Bank of Baroda, Mental Networks, and Abro Groups. Thank you all for your support. I thank all the media personnel from print and television present here today to report on the 40th KMA National Management Convention. Thank you all and I hope you will report it well in tomorrow's newspaper. Finally, a big thanks on behalf of President Nirmala and Chairman A. Balakrishnan and all the members of KMA to all the registered delegates, management students, volunteers, today's Master of Ceremony Neil Gonzalez, even managers Rajesh and Ergo, and all the staff and management of Lulu Convention Center, Bolgati, Grand Hyatt. Secretary team members, Lieutenant Jojo Jacob, Mohan Krishnan, and Prajit. Without you all, this would not have been possible. Before I conclude, let me inform you all that tomorrow is going to be yet another exciting day with content-rich session revolving around this year's convention theme. We will have eminent subject matter experts who will speak on 3 verticals: financial services, manufacturing, and healthcare. So I request you all to be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 sharp. Please don't miss it. See you all in the same hall, same venue, and 9:30 sharp. Thank you one and all, and have a great evening and memorable convention tomorrow. Thank you and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir, for all your kind words. We shall now rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.